So welcome to another Raw Life with John Ravenwolf, number 18. So, have you ever been on the dark side of the moon? Or sun? Excuse me, dark side of the sun. Raw Life is about my journey and the things that I do and my friends and my community and my tribe and everything else. And so spoke to a friend of mine who's going through some really tough shit right now, physically. And what I've found out for myself is that right now, this whole quarantine thing is good for me. It's giving me opportunities to be extremely busy in things that I'm doing physically, to catch up on projects here at the house. I did a walkway to my shed. I'm presently doing the deck to screen it in for my mom. That we'll all benefit from. All sorts of stuff. I put shocks on my car and new stainless steel exhaust tips and window tinting and, just like cool stuff. But when I'm doing it, it gives me time to think, to be consciously thinking on thoughts instead of relying on my old subconscious programming to do things that, what am I doing to change my personality? What am I doing to change my life? What am I doing to manifest and co-create my future? What am I doing to really use this time off to be creative, not just in the physical sense, but going into the void, to that dark side of the sun, which is it's the non-existence of this time and space continuum. And that can be a little bit scary for some people. I get that. But like my friend, God bless her, she's constantly relating to things from what I saw on her video today of all past things and relying on the words and reports and tests of doctors and the results and things like that. These are all old programming, which are in our subconsciousness. And because our subconscious is actually our body, that's what relates to our everyday life. Because 90% of what we do on a daily basis is based off of subconscious thought. We don't even realize we're doing it. It's second nature. It's that, what we think is like God-given talent or whatever, right? There's so many different terminologies for it because we don't even question it. And in this quarantine time, yes, like I said, I'm keeping myself busy doing projects because it's what I like to do. I like to stay active physically. And it's not to say that I could relate to what other people are dealing with, because I was like, okay, so you have a bad back and this, and your back's sore today. You shouldn't do anything. You should rest it, and just don't overdo it. And yeah, I don't listen to those reports. I become active, and then I wind up like, even this very, very moment, my back is fine. It's in the evening on Friday, and I'm fine. I feel no pain because it's what we create in our minds. It's the placebo effect, if you will, that we can have this effect in only by our thoughts and what we can project into our own life, into the now. Dr. Joseph Dispenza has many books and seminars and workshops and things, meditations and things like this about this very subject. I'm following some of his advice. And here's a man who doesn't just come up with it. He has proven it, that within 12 weeks he was able to go from being hit by a truck while he was training or actually in a contest, and I forget what they call it. Is when you do the bicycling, the swimming, and all that other stuff. But anyway, he 12 weeks. He walked back into his practice. 12 weeks. That's only 3 months. That's incredible. And he did it against all advice from fellow medical professionals. They were telling him that he had to go and have back surgery and all this other stuff. I was out of work in my late 20s, early 30s. I can't remember exactly which. In which I was out of work for 6 months and went back to work. And without surgery, without medication, without anything else. And so I know that this is proven. I know that it's true. I know that it can be done. It doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean you don't go without pain. It doesn't mean, that you don't have your challenges to go along with it. But I've been able to manage it. And now I'm able to manage not only what I'm feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and emotionally, but what I'm able to do through the help of experts like Dr. Joe. And I find myself realizing that all the media that bombards people with all these hard luck, get well, beautiful stories of people helping people, which is beautiful, by the way, but it's because, they're hurting, or this is going on, or, EMS and doctors and nurses and everything, they're on the front line. But, you're forgetting about these so-called non-essential workers. I don't believe there's such a thing, because we're all essential. We are all essential in order to get things done to make this world complete. However, with that being said, I think it's a beautiful thing that we're coming to the point of a different understanding and a rebirth in how to create our lives in a more productive way through technology. I think people have been too down on the whole millennial generation, and coming to an understanding that we need to accept and learn from the younger generations of how to go through life to create the new life that we wish to have, that offers more freedom, more expression, more creativity, more everything, in a lighter, general way to just love being where we're at and who we are, and dealing with things, and being grateful for the situation that we're dealing with. So, anyway, let me go back to what brought this whole video on, right? Dark Side of the Sun. I had a friend of mine, Michelle, who was in one of my Facebook friends, that came to me and said, so do you want to be part of the group, because you're not really interacting? And then the leader of the group, the woman with this problem, had said, well, you're not really, I've reached out to you a few times. And I had to apologize because I really didn't know that she was reaching out, which kind of sucked, because I thought I was more aware and perceptive of those things, and which I wasn't, obviously, because I care about everybody. But it also proved to me that I'm also in my own little world during this time, learning these things, practicing them, understanding them more, and coming into the perception in which I want to be able to show these people and teach them the same things, to where nothing outside of myself exists to the point in which it bothers me. But I don't want to disconnect so much that I don't realize when people are trying to connect. So it's a kind of fine line. It really is. So that's just another lesson for me, and I'm grateful for that, because I really need to see that. I need to understand it. And because in all honesty, and a lot of times, I don't feel like I have anything to say that anybody wants to listen. But at the same time, man, I think of stuff every day that I could be putting on here. But I'm not here for anybody's expectations or approval or anything else. I don't really care. And I don't need it. And I think that's where a lot of people fail to realize that a true friendship is something where, like, I have a couple of friends in PA where I might not talk to them for months and months at a time, but then when we connect, we connect. I still have a problem, and I recognize this when it comes to women. With two ex-wives, my grandmother, even my mom, who's still alive. There's just things that I have a problem with because it's hard for me to trust, because even those women closest to me have failed me in one way or another. And I don't mean just through expectations. I mean through life experience when I needed them the most. I'll give you an example. My grandmother kept information away from me and my family concerning the kids from my first marriage. God, 30 some years, I didn't even realize that they were looking for me or where they lived or anything else, and they were close. That type of thing. So it's, and a lot of that was because of me. It was my choice and people that I brought into my life and things like that. But when it comes to your own family, that's kind of fucked up. But again, it's a whole trust thing. So right now, that's also something that I'm contemplating and bringing into my awareness, is how to trust more, how to believe in things that people. I'll give you a prime example. Today I was at Lowe's, right, tonight after supper, and I went in and there was a couple ahead of me, and I'm like, oh, really? You're just being like this kind of thing, and they were doing their own deal. And then I realized they were parked next to me, and they had a trailer, and it was like, it's not right to judge people. I'm gonna go help them. And I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, pat myself on the back. I'm just saying that, like, we got to get past the judgment of people and help them out. Even the simplest thing. It was a husband and wife, and it was like, she really didn't, I'm not saying she did, she was weak or anything like that. It was just like, I can go over there and make it easier and quicker. And they were grateful. But it was no big deal to me, but that's what this whole quarantine thing is about. How can we help out our fellow man? How can we just lend them a hand? I felt good about doing it. It's fun. And then I got this message from my friend, it's like, you're not being as interactive and stuff. And I said, well, maybe I should do a live on your page. And then I thought about it some more, and I thought, you know what? Maybe that's not right. Maybe I just wanted to share this with everybody. So I'm going to do it on YouTube. I'll share it to different pages, including my page on Facebook and, all that stuff. But look, enough about me. I don't like to go anything over 15 minutes, and we're getting close to that now. But I just wanted to come on and ask yourself, when's the last time you've been to the dark side of the sun? Because the general race awaits, and the central sun is the key and the gateway to life itself. This is what the elders have told me. This is what I'm sharing with you. And if you like, leave comments, and we'll bring that up on the next video. Love you much. Y'all keep 'em straight up there. John Ravenwolf signing off.